Hi there guys, on this video we're going to be looking at which car is the best for getting your skill chain maxed out as quickly as possible. Now we only really have two candidates for this and I'm going to show you both of them. I'm in one of them at the moment, so I want to pop over to my car mastery and show you the skills. So, that's a pointless skill. This one here, 10% more influence from skills whilst driving in a convoy. I never drive in a convoy. Skill multiplier builds faster with skill songs. I've not got skill songs yet, so that doesn't apply to me. Extra life, that's useful, but all cars have that. This one is very useful for where we're going to get our skills. So 20% from air. We have here near misses, that doesn't apply for what I'm about to do. Car wreckage skills, 20%, that's good. Drift, 20% is good. This one builds the multiplier 3 times as fast. That's very, very important. Now, both cars have this skill. This one, 1 second extra skill chain, this one is on this car, but it's not on the other one. So this means that there's a greater chance that you're going to get your skill chain to the maximum because it's not going to run out so easy. So for me, this is a good skill, it's worthwhile. If you're not a really good driver, and I'm not, I can't drift, then that is quite important because it means you don't break your skill chain. Now this one is essential. Both of the cars have this, and it's the most important skill of them all when it comes to maxing out your skill chain. It enables the multiplier to go up to 7. Now, these two cars have it. I've not seen any other car in the game that has this 7 multiplier. I've seen a few with 6, but only these two with 7. If you know of any other car that has a 7 multiplier, then please do let me know in the comments. So here we've got a 20% increase on skill chain scores, the ultimate ones. This is 50% influence in free roam, 10,000, a lot of these don't really mean anything, and you earn 30% more skill score from combo skills. So there's a few in there that are really, really useful. And obviously that one doesn't really apply for the skill chain. It's quite useful, but not for what we're doing at this point. So that's one car. That was the Renault 5 Turbo Forza edition. You can buy them on auction for around about 400,000. I have seen them go for 300,000, but normally they're on 406. I bought the one you just looked at for 419 just because I liked the design and it's not much more different in money. The actual tune-up that I've got on this one, someone asked me on a previous video which tuning it was. I don't know. When I bought it, it was locked, the tuning. I didn't look at who did the tuning at the time, and I can't find a way to check it. It seems that you can only see who did the tuning on the car when the car's on auction, so I think that's a little bit of a shame. If it is hidden somewhere in the menus, I certainly couldn't locate that. But what I have done is I've bought another one of those, and I tried it with the stock tuning, which was obviously the Forza Edition version, and it seemed pretty similar. It wasn't any more difficult to drive, it wasn't any more difficult to drift, it didn't feel that much different, so it seems that the Forza Edition stock tuning is fine. I also tried downloading some of the most popular tunes for that car, and they're also fine. I didn't have any trouble with the car, it didn't seem very different, so I'd say go with the Forza Edition tuning that comes as standard on that car. So let's change over to the other car. Now the other one, just get to my favourites, is this one, which is the M6 Coupe Forza Edition, 2013 BMW. And if we have a look at the perks on this one, there's a few that are the same, there's a few that are different. The Forza Edition bonus that you get on the Renault is a skills bonus. I'm not really sure what it actually does, because this car has kind of the same skills bonuses. This one says it's a drift bonus. So if we have a look on this car, go in the car mastery. Now the ones that are very, very important, this one, your skill builds 3 times as fast. Both of them have this. This one, it's 7 times multiplier. They both have this. Oh, this does have the extra 1 second. I didn't think it did. And actually, if I'm looking through these, it looks pretty damn similar. Is this exactly the same as the other car? Let me think. So that's the same, this is, yes. Not sure about the near miss, but I think so. But yeah, the car wreckage, the drift, this, it looks the same. So yeah, I'm not 100% sure, but it looks pretty similar. So it just comes down to the way the car drives, the way the car handles, and things like that. So I'm going to use this car first. Now, depending on where you get the skill points, is going to be a factor because obviously different handling cars work better in different places. Now, where I used to get skill points was on the beach over, let me just show you. It was up and down this straight from about here to this bend, and there is a 2-lane track just there, and what I was doing is drifting through the track, and there's 3 yellow tape fences, and obviously you get destruction bonuses for going through that tape, and you get drift bonuses. So I was driving up and down that strip, drifting backwards and forwards through that tape until I got up to the maximum skill chain. But I mean, that technique is great. It's very, very safe. There's no other cars there, you can't crash, there's no way you can break your skill chain as long as you're drifting. So it's really easy to get up to maximum on that, but it's not a very fast way of getting to maximum. What I've discovered instead is where I am now, which is all the sand dunes right near the castle, seems to be a bit better. Now, this car wheel spins like a bitch, and for me, that's a problem. I find it difficult to handle, it seems sluggish, it seems a bit slow. I've tried various different tunes on it, it seems heavy, it's just not nice. And I find it more difficult to handbrake turn, I'm not sure why. But what we're going to see, if I'm not careful, I'm going to lose my multiplier before it gets to 7. So all I'm going to do is just go through this. Now the reason I've moved to here is because every time you jump in the air, every time you crash land, every time you get a kangaroo bonus, all of that gives you really good bonuses. Like the scores are usually yellow, like that one and that one. And then you get the ultimate skill chains pretty easy. Now you see I've got to 7, and I was on about 20,000 when I got to 7. And I kind of struggled with that. And quite often on this car, I do lose the skill chain bonus. So I do struggle with this car. I find it wheel spins too much, and I haven't got the discipline to not press my accelerator all the way down to the floor. If you're a better driver than me, that's not going to be an issue for you. I find it much more difficult to control, and I find it quite hard to drift. Now, quite a few people have said to me this car's better. Those people are obviously better drivers than me. They prefer it, I assume, because they can drive well. For me, I find it quite difficult. So you just saw me get to a 7 times multiplier then, and I was on about 20,000. Now if I change over to the other car, so I'm going to change over to the Renault. Oh, it's some of my favourites, isn't it? There we go. So I'm going to change to this one. Now when I'm in this car, I find it quite nippy. It's obviously a much lighter car. It seems to be much easier to control. It doesn't seem to wheel spin so much. It just seems nice. And as I say, I've tried quite a few different builds on this, and it just seems really, really simple to drive. I find it much easier to drift, much easier to keep moving. I don't tend to flip it so often, but I have realised certain sand dunes make me flip more so than others. Now, when you come through this section, I don't want to hit that. There's a couple of bins over. There they are. These bins give you really good bonuses just for crashing through them. So crash through these bins, you get some good bonuses for that. So look at that, bin man 1600. Just for it's like crashing through a fence, but loads of points. But yeah, I mean, what I'm normally doing is just bouncing up and down over this. As I'm bouncing, I'm trying to hit a few fences. After a while of bouncing, I do a handbrake turn, drift, and go back. 7,000, 7 multiplier, 32,000 points. How quick and how easy was that? Now I tend to stop as soon as it hits 7. And the reason I do that is because I might flip my car, and if I flip my car, I'm going to miss out on it. So 5 skill points there. But the maximum, if you have a 7 times multiplier, and you want to get to the maximum, it's about 71, 72,000 points. Now if you get that, I'm going to just do that now, just to show you. You get about 72,000 points, and that instantly gives you 10,000 skill points. Oh, this is a bad example. As I said, I am a really shit driver, so I mean, if you're a good driver, you might find the BMW better. If you're a complete novice like I am, then this car is beautiful. It's just so easy to control, it's easy to handle. If you haven't got access, let's get those bins again, because they give you so many points. If you haven't got access to the Forza Edition cars, I mean, these two are Forza Edition, and they're the only two so far that I've seen that give you a 7 times multiplier. So again, look, I'm about at 7 and I'm on nearly 30,000. So that was better than the BMW. But I did go through the bins and I didn't on the BMW, and the bins are very, very generous. You can do a side sweep through these fences. That's pretty good too. So it's the kangaroos. The kangaroos give you like 1,600 points. They're so generous, and also the crash landings give you a lot of points as well. Now that's why I've moved up to here, as opposed to where I was before, which was and this trashing this ice cream area as well. Oh shit! I'm gonna have to do a J-turn to keep my thing going. Oh, I lost it. I lost it because I crashed. But I mean, it's not difficult at all to get up to the maximum, as long as you don't do what I just did, which was suddenly drive into something that doesn't brake and stop. So I'll get to the maximum on this one. It's not going to take too long at all. I'm not doing any drifting. I really should do a little bit more drifting because it makes sure that you don't lose the thing. Now, when you go right up in the air, it doesn't really benefit you very much because it takes a lot of time for you to come back down, and you don't get big bonuses for the air time or anything like that. They're quite small, and also your crash bonus is not too bad, but you're going to get the crash landing bonus, from almost everything. Be careful that we don't flip it. Sometimes you flip and it lets you get away with it. So 30,000, I'm on 7. So these things here are great if you can slide through them. But what seems to be, the side swipes are good. The other one that's really good is the kangaroo. So this area is brilliant for the kangaroo, but another place that's good is the wind farm, where all the heather is. So if you look on the map, it's the area that looks purple. If you just drive around there, you can drive around those fields, you can crash through a couple of fences and walls, scare some sheep, and you bounce around quite a bit. There are some bumps there. They're not as extreme as this, so it's very unlikely to flip your car, but it's a really easy area to get a lot of these kangaroos, and the kangaroos give you some seriously good bonuses. Just go through these fences and I'll get those bins again. And look at the bins are awesome. 1,600 points just for driving through a bin. So I'm going to get up to the maximum in a moment, which is, when you're on 7 multiplier, it's about 72,000. So that should be enough. I'm just going to stop there. So I got up to 74. This is going to give me 10 skill points. Now, I've done this for a long time, and I've got over 3.5 million skill chain, and it still only gave me 10 skill points. So it does cap it at 10. So I'm just going to take the reward. Oh, I missed it. It does cap it at 10, so don't bother going any higher than 10, which is 500,000. So 500,000 skill chain is going to give you 10, and to get 500,000, you want about 72,000. Oh, Chevy. I don't think I'll drive that. So if you have a ×5 multiplier, obviously it's 100,000, which is going to give you 500,000. If you have a ×6, it's around about 68,000 that you want to be stopping on. So those two cars, the only option, really they are the only option, because they're the only ones that give you a 7x multiplier. This one, for me, it's a no-brainer, hands-down winner, because it's just unbelievably easy to handle. It's unbelievably easy to keep your skill chain going. It's really nippy. It's easy to drift. It doesn't seem to flip over very often, and it just feels nice to drive. And I've tried a few different tunes and they all feel quite nice. It does a lot of this kangaroo bouncing, which you get good points for. If you're a really good driver, then a few of those points aren't really going to matter so much for you. So maybe the best car for you is going to be the BMW. I keep messing up my handbrake turns because I'm pressing the wrong button. For some stupid reason, the handbrake turn on my controller is A, but when I'm on my steering wheel, the handbrake is the B button. So I've been playing on the steering wheel earlier on today, because if I'm just doing a normal race, then I tend to be on the steering wheel in first person. If I'm doing this, then I tend to be in third person, because it's easier to see where the obstacles are. you get a much clearer view of the of what's in front of you because you're a little bit higher up. And I tend to use the controller. I'm not sure why, but yeah, I prefer to use the controller when I'm doing this, and I prefer to use the steering wheel when I'm just doing racing. But yeah, the handbrake changes. I should remap it. Look at that. I mean, it's not that easy to flip this car, whereas the BMW, I think, seems to be really easy to flip. So it feels sluggish, and it wheel spins like a bitch. So for me, that makes this one, for my novice driving, the clear winner. If there's cars parked here that are reasonably close together, and you go through them, it's really easy to go through them, and you get the thread the needle bonus. So, I mean, if there are a couple parked near each other, drive through them. You can crash through these as well. I didn't expect you'd be able to. I thought that would just... oh, I'm at maximum. So I better stop. But I'm going to keep on going. I'm going to go for a bit longer, just to show you that the maximum is 10. It will cap it on 10, whatever I get to. Hey, stuntman bonus. But how much more fun is this? I'll show you what I used to do, which is over here. You've probably seen it on one of my previous videos. But rather than bouncing up and down on here, what I was doing before is on this track over here. Oh, I might end up in the sea. Shit. Ah, just in time. But yeah, this is what I was doing before. I was just doing a drift and then crashing through these 3 fences. And then doing another drift. You get the sideways bonus, which is always goes yellow, so that's a good one. That one there. That's the same as crashing through a bin. The landscape one goes yellow as well, so that's also pretty generous. So yeah, crashing through this, it's almost impossible to lose your skill chain. So I mean, if you just want to max out your skill chain to some ridiculously high amount, there is an achievement. I'm not sure what the achievement is set at, but it's not that high. It's very easy to get it. You get to the end, you just turn around, and you carry on going. And by doing this, I did max out my... I didn't max it, I just got bored of doing it. You can go on forever. But I did it until I got... I can't remember, it was stupid high, and I ended up with probably 3.5 million points on my multiplier. And I was thinking, I'm going to get loads of skill points, this is going to be awesome. And when it gave me them, it only gave me 10 points. So then what I did is I started doing them lower and lower until it gave me 9 to see exactly how many points I needed to stop at in order to get 9. And the magic number was about 71,000. So 71,000 gives you 9, and that, once the multiplier is added to it, is about 500,000. So 500,000 points gives you, not 9, 10, sorry. 500,000 points gives you 10 skill points, and you don't really want to be going any more than that. So what I've done here, if I just get up to 140, that's going to be double what I normally do. So I normally stop on 71, 72, we're now on 144, so I've doubled. So you would think I'm going to get 20 skill points, but it's not. It's just going to cap out at 10. So the maximum is 10, so make sure you don't be going any higher than that. There we go, we don't get any more. Now, I did double check to make sure. I checked how many I had in here, and made sure that it only had 10 on, and it did. So I was thinking, wow, I've just got 3.5 million skill chain. Maybe it did give me more than 10, but it's only showing me 10 on the screen, but it didn't. It only gave me 10. Now at the moment, I've only got 71 because I've been buying Aventadors and maxing them out. If you don't know what that's all about, then watch one of my other videos and I'll show you how you do it. It's just a way that you can make money really easily by buying and selling Aventadors and getting credits from them, but you need skill points to do it. But what I did notice, just before I started recording this video, so I guess I should show you here before I close down, I got a spin, and the spin awarded me with this car. This one, the Chevy Corvette 1970, and this car is exactly the same as the Lamborghini Aventador 2012. It gives you exactly the same perks, and it costs the same amount of money in the showroom. It costs 310,000 in the showroom, and it gives you 200,000 credits back. It also gives you 2 free spins, so you can do with this one. I don't think I've done it yet. Let me just check. I might have, I might not have. So let's get into here. Oh yes, I have done it. So look at that. This is exactly the same pattern as the Lamborghini Aventador 2012 version. You go this way, you get a spin, get another spin, you go up, you get 200,000 credits. You buy the car for 310 from the showroom, and I mean the Aventadors, you can sell them on auction for 300,000 very easily. I'm not sure how well this car sells, but I'm guessing it's quite similar. But this car's got some really, really awesome designs that I really like. So I'm going to experiment with buying and selling a few of these. And if they sell on auction as well as the Aventadors do, then I'm just going to do these for a while, just for a bit of variety. So I just wanted to tell you that I'd found another car that gives you bonus credits. I always say buy them from the showroom, not the auction house. The reason I say that is because if you're buying them from the showroom, you're guaranteed that none of these skills have been unlocked already. So you're guaranteed to get your 200,000 cash back and your 2 wheel spins. Whereas if you're buying them from the auction, hey, you might get them cheaper, but the chances are somebody's already done this with them and put them on auction. So this can only happen once per car. You can't do this and then sell it to someone and then they do it. You know, they won't be able to do it. They'll buy the car and whatever you've unlocked is already gone. So that's all. Have I got any spins? No. Have I got any messages, any auction sales or anything like that? No, nothing going on, so nothing to check. So that's all from me, guys. If you found this video useful, then please leave a like, leave a comment, let me know what your favourite car is. If you know of another car that has really good bonuses on it, particularly that ×7 multiplier, that's the important one, then let me know. Let me know in the comments, and we'll see which one works out best. For me, it's got to be the Renault 5 Turbo Forza Edition. You can buy them on auction for around about 400,000. I've seen them go for 300,000. The one I bought was 419,000 because I just liked the design. But yeah, I find them really easy to handle. I've tried the stock tuning, well, not the complete stock, but the Forza Edition stock, and it was just as easy. I've also tried downloading some new tunings. I actually bought another one of them and downloaded some tunings on that, and it also seemed pretty easy. So let's take a look at that one. So that was, so I want to go to my Renault PQR. So here we go. So, oh no, Porsche, oh no, there we are. I also bought this one on auction. That's the one that I usually use, but I bought this one as well just to try out some different tunings, and you can see that they are different. The braking is different, the handling is different, speed. I like this one. It's got a 7.7 on handling, an 8.1. I mean, you can see the stats there. So if you want to download a tuning that's got those same stats, then have a look through and get one that's matching this, and you can have the same car that I have. My actual settings, I always have everything switched off, and I have anti-lock brakes switched on. That's the only thing I ever have switched on. I always have everything else switched off. I have the steering on stimulation. It's the way I always play driving games. I find the other stuff just doesn't feel right. It interferes. It doesn't feel like I can feel the road properly. I mean, obviously that makes no sense because I can't feel the road. And actually my steering wheel doesn't have force feedback either, so I don't get that benefit. But when I have some of the help things on, it doesn't feel real, but I do keep the ABS on because I'm not a very good driver, and I always brake on corners, and I try to get into the habit of braking before I get to the corner on the straight, and then letting off the brakes and then accelerating around the corner. But I always go into corners too fast, and then if I let off my brakes, I end up crashing. So I always have to do a bit of braking on the corner, and I end up spinning out and oversteering if I haven't got the ABS on. So that's the only setting that I have on. Everything else I have switched off. So obviously traction control is off, my steering is set to simulation and all that stuff. So the other one, this one, I'll jump in it. You can see the settings there. All I did is download what looked like one of the most popular tunings. But I did try out, as I said, I tried out the stock tuning for the Forza Edition, and that was pretty good. So where am I? Oh yeah, I'll go this way. Doesn't make such a nice noise. I like how the other one squeals. But yeah, it's just as easy. And there's nothing complicated about what I'm doing here. I mean, if you are a terrible driver and you want to get loads and loads of experience, you want to level up, you want to get credits. I mean, I'm nearly level 100. I've been playing this game for just a couple of days. I didn't buy it pre-order. I'm on the Xbox Game Pass, so I waited for the free edition to be on the Game Pass. I then upgraded to VIP for about £15, something like that. Oh, I flipped it. What a bitch. So that doesn't normally happen. And when it does happen, I try to keep a note of which sand dunes actually flip me and try and avoid those ones. But yeah, you can see it's just as easy. I do like the noise the other one makes better than this one. But yeah, as I say, I bought the VIP because, I mean, 15 quid, it's a fucking amazing game. And one of the things that I've done lately, if you haven't done that, Jesus, I'm flipping it again. One of the things that I've been doing just lately, I spent probably a couple of hours doing it. I went into the drone. Get in the drone mode. I tell you, it's absolutely awesome. I mean, there's a boost button which is useful. I'm going to get over here to some houses. Not the castle, just some normal houses. If you go around Edinburgh, it's incredible. Look in the shops and, I mean, even the upstairs windows. It's like people's apartments and you can see inside and there's like kitchens and stuff. I mean, it's not perfect. Let's have a look inside this farm. I've spent hours doing this. And the attention to detail is just absolutely incredible. I mean, there's 3D inside the windows. I mean, they've done this. It's not really a good example here. I've picked a house that's not a very good example. But you can kind of see it a little bit on the upstairs window there. You can see it a lot better when you're actually in the city centre. But the other place that is just in amazing touch. Oh, you can't use the map when you're doing this. Let me just whiz down. But if you go to the wind farm, which is down towards the south, the actual wind turbines themselves, when you're close to them, you can hear the sound of electricity. And also, I mean, I've got a surround sound system with quite a loud bass speaker, and you hear the sound of the propeller on the wind farm going around, and it sounds amazing. And it's like that. How many people are going to get out their car and go up to the wind turbine? Well, I did it. But yeah, it's such an awesome attention to detail. The other thing as well is when you're whizzing around like this, the deer, the chickens, the sheep. I mean, there's a waterfall as well. I followed one of these rivers upstream and there's just an incredible waterfall. It sounded spectacular. Wish you could go higher up in the air. You can go up a little bit. Which button is it? It's this one, I think. But it's only a tiny, tiny little bit. It just keeps you above the cars. But I wish you could go higher. But yeah, I strongly urge you to do this. It's incredible. Now, obviously the game isn't... I mean, let's have a little look at these sheep. Did they all run away? Where the hell did they go? Oh, there they are. But yeah, you go near the sheep, and they run away. I've got my TV turned really quite low down at the moment, but the sound, when you've got a decent surround system with bass speaker, the sound is just mind-blowing. They have seriously excelled themselves on this game. I'm so impressed with it. And I think what I'm going to do is, I'm so lost. You can't bring up the map in this mode, which is such a shame. I want to be going kind of south-west. So yeah, sorry if I'm wasting your time here. Let's get some volume. So, yeah, it sounds beautiful. And I mean the different seasons as well, having a look around in the different seasons. I strongly urge you to do this, especially around Edinburgh. I mean, there's like little tables outside the shops and sweets for sale for £1 each. And there's bars that have, it's just awesome. And there's a church that I think the people at it think it's a bar. Just such beautiful attention to detail. But I do wish you could go a little bit higher than you can. That's the button that takes you up, but it doesn't go very high at all. Well, I can't find these wind turbines. I really wish you could bring the map up while you're doing this. Oh, there's the stunt where you jump through the windmill. So I'm perhaps a bit further south than I thought. I wonder if anyone's still watching this video. This is hardly comparing two cars, is it? Let's have a look. What amazing draw distance. Really incredible. Ah, there they are, look. I like this heather as well. It looks much better in the spring. I mean, I'm in autumn at the moment, so in the spring this area is so nice. And if you go across the level crossing, the actual alarms are going off, but the fences don't come down. I was stood at the level crossing, listening to the alarm, thinking there's no train coming, and then I turned around and it so nearly hit me in the face. These wind turbines, I'll turn the volume up. When you get close to them, you can hear electricity. So just listen to this. Isn't that amazing? I can't look up enough. There we go. So you hear the blades going round, and you hear the hum of these. That's just incredible, really incredible. Such a tiny little thing, but that kind of attention to detail. I mean, it makes me think. I mean, let's jump forward 5 years, and we have new consoles and new processing power. What we're going to see in games is going to be truly mind blowing. But yeah, I strongly urge you to do this if you haven't already. Get into this little drone. This drone has the longest range of any drone ever. And yeah, just fly around. And I mean, have a look at the waterfalls, the animals. It's nice when you see a bunch of chickens and they all try and fly away from you. You try and catch them and you can't. And then go up and go around Edinburgh and just check out some of the buildings up there. Incredible. Now, obviously, it's not an exact replica of Scotland. There are, I mean, Derwent Water is much further south than where it is on here. I mean, they've taken probably the entire of the north of England and Scotland and compressed some of the interesting places onto this, and they've done an astonishing job. Whoops. Of doing that. Absolutely incredible. So there are some landmarks that are perfect, exactly as they are in real life. I think quite a lot of the streets that are in Edinburgh itself on the game, we must be near a waterfall because we can hear, yes we are, look at this. Isn't that amazing? Now, I mean, I've been around here in the spring. It looks totally different. And there was a load of mayflies that were flying around, so I went up here. And in this section, there was just loads of mayflies flying about. Oh look, there's a board there that I haven't got yet. Isn't that just amazing? So yeah, I came here in spring, and this area was full of mayflies. And little seeds floating about and like butterflies and things. It's just absolutely incredible. Oh, I'll turn this off. And then I think I went up here a little bit, and just on the shore there was an abandoned rowing boat. So, I mean, these little touches, they really, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that they've done in here that they didn't need to do. A great deal of attention to detail. It's a car racing game. I mean, there it is. There's a little abandoned rowing boat here, look. Isn't that just incredible? And then, I mean, if you go around some people's back gardens, there are like greenhouses with plant pots in and things. There's bin bags outside. It's obviously getting near bin day. You can actually go in the phone booths as well. I wanted there to be some call cards in there and stuff like that, but there wasn't. If you look at the post boxes, it tells you that the post is going to be collected on Friday. So I mean, that means that it's got to be like a Wednesday or a Thursday, I think, in the game. We get up here to the dam, and then the reservoir is above here. That was nice. Yeah, I mean, you want to go have a little fly around. There's another bonus board. Look, this is also useful because you find all the bonus boards. So this is going to be Derwent Water Reservoir, I think. Let's go from here. Yeah. So I mean, obviously in the winter all this is frozen. It just looks incredible. My wife isn't interested at all in racing games, but I showed her this. She is Latina. We live in Colombia, and she has been to England and various places in Europe with me, visiting my family and obviously just going on vacation. But she's never been to Scotland, and she really does want to go to Scotland. So I was like, look, this is Scotland. She was constantly, oh my God, it's beautiful, it's beautiful. She was just in awe of the Scottish scenery. And I know it's not 100% accurate, but it's pretty damn good. I mean, I grew up in England. I have been to Scotland. I've not been to Edinburgh. But this is, what you see is what you get. It does look like this. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. And especially in autumn. Now, in Colombia, we don't really have autumn. We don't really have seasons, to be honest. But so we never see all these, golden colours. And also, we don't have snow. And actually, my wife has never, ever seen snow falling. So she doesn't like the cold, but she's never been on holiday where it's been snowing. So she's never seen snow fall, which I think is a real shame, because snow is beautiful, incredibly romantic, and it creates like a blanket of silence. Now, if you do this in the spring, these are not sheep, they're lambs. Isn't that just incredible? So now I'm in autumn, they're sheep. So it's a little bit different. So that's just absolutely awesome. There's somewhere there is a big hill, and on top of the hill there's a load of like old derelict buildings. I tell you, the view from that hill is mind-blowing, and the buildings look like they would be beautiful if someone fixed them up. It would be an incredible place to live. Oh my God, if you could buy those, I imagine they wouldn't sell for very much money, but I'll just get my map back up and see which direction I'm going. So I want to be going I want to go over there, but I want to kind of curl round in this direction. Hello, God's mentality. If you ever watch this video, you are on my map. So yeah, thanks for sticking around during this exploration, if you are still with me. Obviously, the purpose of this video was to compare a couple of cars, which we've long gone now, that has. Now we're doing a tour. But yeah, I think I might make a more in-depth video of a tour anyway, and pop that up on YouTube. I think a lot of people that are not interested in Forza Horizon game, I've gone around in a big circle, look. I think a lot of people that are really, really not interested in car racing games at all, they're not really gaming people, would find this fascinating. I mean, my wife loved it, really loved it. And I know if I showed my parents this as well, they would be amazed at what is now, it'd probably break their minds. It's just like technology. I'd keep having to tell them, no, it's not real life. So, I mean, we're at the quarry again. So I want to go over to the east. I'm not going to get stuck in the quarry because it's not that easy to go up when you get stuck with the drone. I'm glad they put this feature in. I didn't expect to use it at all. But I did use it when I was trying to find one of those barn cars. And it was the first one, the first barn car I was looking for, I used this. And then I realised they're so bloody easy to find, you don't need to use this. I mean, you just drive around a little bit, and the barns are always the same, which surprised me. And that red brick really does stand out. So let's have a look where I am. I'm all the way down here. I'm a lot further south than I thought. Hey, we've got an hot air balloon convention. It's a shame that they're all the same. Oh, let's go and have a look around the event. There's some nice architecture in here. Hello, people. There's a party going on in this derelict castle. You can, I think we can actually go in. Oh, just through here. You see a little party going on inside there. How embarrassing for this girl, look. She's wearing the exact same outfit as that girl. Ah, who would have thought it? I bet she was gutted when she arrived at the party. And the guy in the pink with the blue hat, there's another chap sitting down. Same outfit, kind of embarrassing. Ah, there's a bonus thing, look. I don't really go for those ones. The fast travel ones I think are useful, but I'm not bothered about the influence points. Ah, the fairgrounds. I haven't been here. Hey. Hey guys. So, oh, I just came from it. I can't go in this. Oh yes, I can. Sometimes it doesn't let you go over the fences, so you're a bit restricted on what you can and can't go into. I've got to say, when Forza 5 came out, I was really impressed with Prague. And I've never been to Prague, but I mean, I love that track, and I raced it a lot. And obviously, you've got all the scenery in there and everything. Right, this is where all the zombies live. They just what? Oh, that must have been out of the zone. So, yeah, unfortunately. But I've never been to Prague, but I've raced around on that track quite a lot. And then one of my friends went to Prague, and they put a load of photos on Facebook. I didn't know where they was going. I just saw the photos on Facebook, and I was looking through them. I was like, oh my god, this is Prague, and I recognised it from Forza 5, and it was so spot on. It's unbelievable. Now, obviously, they've done the same with that as they have done with this. They've just taken some buildings, some landmarks, and some streets, and replicated them. And then they've kind of taken the style of that city and made the rest of the place like that, and it's a hell of a lot smaller. Now, obviously, Edinburgh is a lot bigger than what we've got here. So, I mean, if there's anyone who's never been to England and you was expecting that it's this small, it isn't. It's a lot bigger than this. But it genuinely really does look like this. The beaches in England look like this. And I mean, I now live in Colombia, as I said. So it was nice to see this. I mean, I don't get homesick. I love where I live now. But it was really nice to see this stuff. It really reminded me of home. So I'm just going to drive up north now. And before I close the video, I'm just going to have a tiny little tour. I'm going to indulge in my my drone, and I'm going to just fly around Edinburgh a little bit. But I'm going to get there like this because it's much easier to get your bearings in a car because you can open the map. Usually it just makes sense to drive in a straight line because you get loads more bonuses. You drive on the road and you drive carefully and you get no benefits for it whatsoever. You drive like an absolute idiot and crash through everything and you get loads of skill points. So I think the clean driving bonus should be more generous than it is. The clean driving bonus, it's almost nothing. And it just means you kind of get too tempted to just go everywhere like this, which is it's a bit of a shame, really. It spoils it a bit. But you get so many skill points just doing this. You think, why not? Let's just have a quick look at the map. I've got to go, oh, I'm already all the way up there. I just need to go to the west. There we go. Now, I mean, even though you've got my slightly impromptu guided tour of Edinburgh coming up. I do really strongly urge you to get on the drone and do this yourself. It's just incredible. Now, I mean, there's a lot of places that are repeated. You see the same shops over and over again, and the same buildings over and over again, which is fair enough. You know, it would have been a bit insane for them to do everything. You know, everything completely unique. Okay. We're close enough. Right, let's pop into drone mode. I'll turn the volume back up. Oh, I'm in my drone. I was thinking, I'm still in my car. But no, I was just in my drone behind my car. Oh, there's a bonus board. So, none of the bikes are padlocked up, so they could all be stolen. But look at the shops. It's so awesome. There was a woman standing outside a closed shop earlier, and it sold cakes. She's desperate for her cakes. She was just waiting there for ages for the cake shop to open. It's really making me laugh. So yeah, look at some of these. Isn't that just amazing? So I mean, there are, as I say, a lot of them do repeat themselves, but I don't mind that. I mean, for me, this is probably. I mean, also as well, we've got little tables and chairs outside. This is a bit weird actually, because we've got some table and chairs outside there, and that's not a diner. That is it like a souvenir shop or something? So I mean, what does this? Oh, actually, that place is a diner, isn't it? It's got tables and chairs inside as well. But I mean, I've seen tables and chairs outside of a shop that sold souvenirs. It's just, let's turn this back off. And hello, fated sun. So we can go quite fast actually. Let's have a quick look at this. Isn't that just fantastic? And you can hear them as well. And that yellow top, there's triplets. There's 3 identical girls all gone to the same restaurant. So, look at the rain. Look at the pavement. Isn't that brilliant? Someone out in their wellies there because it's raining. Oh, there's someone's arm coming out of that shop. Some calendars getting ruined in the rain. Souvenirs there for sale. What we got here? Some more calendars. If there's anything in the bin. Nope. Some cakes in there. It's a bit windy, look. That bush is getting a bit of a battering from the wind. And then above the shops as well. Look up there in those. I assume they're apartments. That just incredible, absolutely incredible. And the architecture. I mean, it's all sculpted 3D. It's not just like graphics slapped on a flat surface. Look at that. I mean, I bet they're glad that people do what I'm doing. You know, get off their car, have a look around. I mean, what's that? Travel agents or something? Oh, it's loans insurances. I was thinking about the clocks on the wall. So three different time zones on the wall. Are the clocks different? No, they're all the same time zone. I was also looking at the clocks to see if the time was right with my Xbox, but it wasn't. And I was driving, and I was keeping my hand turned on the steering wheel so I could look at the time on my digital watch. I wanted to see whether or not they'd gone to the trouble of putting in the actual correct time on the watch, but they didn't. So that would have seriously impressed me. It's obviously bin day. Because there's loads of bin bags outside of people's houses and all the bins are in the streets, so it's bin collection. I haven't seen any bin lorries. Oh, we're getting towards the actual castle around this area. As I say, I don't know Edinburgh at all, but I am guessing that the very centre of Edinburgh is a replica of what we've got here. That's my guess. I don't know. I would love to think that it is, because if it is, then I know Edinburgh quite well now. Isn't that just amazing? Absolutely amazing. It's like, where are games going? What's going to happen in a few years' time? We're going to be able to get out of our cars and look at places like this. You see this place quite a lot. This restaurant with very, very thin tables, just for people that are drinking there, that table. This one, you can't have much food, but it looks good. It looks really good. But yeah, what's going to be next? It will be like the real world, and the cities will be, perfect replicas of actual cities. And I mean, we're going to go on holiday somewhere, and we'll just fly around the place. Like, whoops! I fly these things very similar to how I drive cars, very badly. Yeah, if you've not done this already, I really urge you to do it. It's just so good. It's making me hungry. Little bakery there, established in 1985. A few people still got their wellies on. It's not finished raining yet. Sorry, it's not raining anymore. It's finished raining. They've still got their wellies. You can go in these phone booths, but as I say, I was a little bit disappointed. I was a bit disappointed that there wasn't like a load of, like cards stuck all over them. I thought that would be so nice if there were a bunch of cards, but there isn't. But yeah, it reminded me of England. And the post boxes as well. I did mention that they've got like a little Friday thing on them. Let's go and have a look at the castle. This is a post box. So collection day is Friday. It's hard to, you can stabilise yourself, can't you? Collection day is Friday. So Monday to Friday, 9 AM, Saturday, 7 AM. So it must be a Thursday in the world of Forza Horizon 4 because the post is going to be collected tomorrow. That's pretty cool. That person dancing in the background there in the yellow, that's pretty cool. And then her sitting on the wall. Maybe she's on something. She's a little bit out. There's no music playing. Her friends are just standing chatting to her. I think she might have had a pill or two. She looks a little bit too happy. Just be standing around chatting with your friends. I think these two girls need the toilet. They're standing there with their legs crossed quite tightly. It's like, I wish you'd finish this conversation. I need to go for a wee. Let's have a look at the castle then. You can't go in the castle, which is a bit of a shame. You can get pretty close. So I'm just going to go up the castle grounds now around here. Let's go a bit faster. Pop over here. You can go up this path, but then you get a little bit trapped. And it doesn't let you get over, you can't get over this wall. I wish you could. But yeah, you can go up this one. And you can go up to the very entrance of the castle, and there's actually a board up there to smash as well. Oh, isn't it peaceful? It's just amazing, isn't it? And look at all those lights in the buildings. Hello. Yeah, my wife was very, very impressed with this, and I am as well. And I think the next time that I visit my family in England, I'm definitely going to have to show this to my parents. They will be completely blown away. The castle entrance is just up here. If you know Edinburgh, is this how it looks? Oh, this is the church, look. This is the church that I think all these guys think it's a pub. They ought to have drinks on the tables. There's a bit of a party vibe going on around here. So I don't know Edinburgh at all, but is this correct? Is it like this when you approach the castle? I hope so. I really hope it's accurate. Yeah, it's Edinburgh Castle. I've been to Scotland a couple of times, but never this far north. I've just been around Loch Lomond and that kind of area. Look at that. And the view off here as well. Just incredible. Can I go over there? You're on! No, I can't. So yeah, so impressed with this. There are a couple of things that really, really surprised me, to be honest. I can't get over that. That's a shame. Those wind turbines, the fact that they make a noise, the electricity, and also the whoom, whoom noise of the blades going around. such a tiny little thing, but it's like that kind of attention to detail. It's not necessary, they don't need it, but yeah, it's so good. Uh, People just turning their lights off there. Uh, I like when the street lights come on as well, that's pretty cool. So yeah, it's very, very beautiful. And I mean, the last time that I went around was in the springtime, and you have lambs. You have all the lavender is really nice and bright. There's bluebells in the woods. Really, really awesome attention to detail. Really awesome. And if these street lights change, it's nice just following people about their business as well. I mean, if you see a car and you just follow it and watch what it does, it's it's good. It's the people wait at junctions, they indicate, they give way, they let other cars go by, you know, they overtake and stuff. It's just good. It's just really, really impressive. So there we go, guys. I didn't intend to do this on this video. I did intend on doing this and making a video of it because it's impressed me so much. I wanted to bring attention to it for anyone that has not already done this themselves. And yeah, do this, check it out. Such a beautiful thing. None of the bikes are locked though, which I think in any city centre is kind of a little bit foolish. Look at those chairs. Just really, really well done. So as you can probably tell, I am impressed with this. I'm seriously impressed with Prague on Forza. Really, really impressed with that as well. But yeah, this is obviously a lot better, and it shows you where they're going with their games. So I'm looking forward to future Forza games, and it's also a bit of a benchmark for other games to aim for. I've not got the Assassin's Creed Odyssey, but from what I've been seeing, that looks pretty bloody awesome. It's not my type of game, which is why I've not bought it, but it does look like they've kind of really excelled themselves as well, where the graphics are concerned. But, I mean, of all the games I've played, I'm more impressed with this than I have been with anything else. I mean, the amount of detail that's inside the shops is just brilliant. It's not perfect. There's kind of like the pictures are a bit weird. There's a lot of repetition. I mean, if you look at that counter there, when you get up close, you can see that it's not actually correct. It's just an image. But it's very, very well done, and it's an astonishing amount of detail for a game where essentially you're driving around at silly miles an hour, going past these things without paying them any attention whatsoever. So, look at the architecture. And I mean, I was very, very impressed to see that the upstairs windows are actual 3D rooms that you can see inside, and they have lights in them and everything. Just incredible. So there we go, guys. That's all from me. If you did manage to stick it out to the end, then well done. As I say, I never intended to do this on this video, but there we go. I hope you have found this video useful on the car comparison, and I also hope that you have found this this impromptu tour of Edinburgh. I didn't realise how loud the drone was. That's better. So I was really shouting there. I hope you found this useful and interesting, and I hope it encourages you to do the same thing. Get in your drone, have a little look around. And some of the countryside is just beautiful. Go up close to some of the the houses in the country, especially some of the broken up farms, the derelict buildings. Have a good look around. It's just really, really impressive stuff. Go around the gardens, go in the greenhouses. Really, really impressive. And the draw distance, it is absolutely incredible. I'm on Xbox One X. I've got my settings set to graphics rather than performance. So it's on 30 frames a second on a high resolution. I was playing on 60 frames a second, and I have not really noticed any difference between the two, but I changed it to the quality rather than performance just to see the difference, and that just happens to be what I changed it to last, and I haven't changed it back, so I'm in quality mode at the moment. But I mean, the draw distance is not absolutely perfect. You do see a couple of things changing, a few shadows appear like what just happened there, but I mean, you've only got to go back a couple of years and entire buildings would just pop up out of nowhere. Whereas this, that's beautiful, look. This is seriously impressive draw distance. Really nice architecture in the distance. Really, really impressed. So there we go, guys. That's all from me. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, leave some comments, let me know what you think. Tell me about the cars. Tell me which one of those two you're using or whether you're using an alternative. If you don't have Forza Edition cars, then there are a few which have a ×6 multiplier. The Aventador does for sure, and I know there's a few other cars that do too, but that ×7 is really handy. It saves you a lot of time. So leave a like, leave a comment. If you haven't already, please subscribe, and I'll be uploading more videos soon. You take care, and as always, have a wonderful evening. Bye bye.